Hey yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we are back again in F1 23, but with the F1 24 Venturi Studios season mode, because we are doing a hot lap track guide around Jeddah. It's the 2024 Formula 1 season, round 2 in Saudi Arabia, and I will show you how to go fast around this track on the F1 23 game. I will show you a slow lap where I'm pointing out all the details that you need to look out for when you're on your hot lap. Then I will show you a fast lap where I'm actually pushing, and additionally, of course, a good setup so you can make sure that you're fast and competitive when driving against your mate in career mode or in your next league race. So I would say let's get into the slow lap and right into the action. Let's go for our slow show lap so you can actually see what we are doing throughout this run on the Jeddah Corniche circuit. So we get a wide run out of the final corner to carry as much momentum as possible into turn 1. We want to extract every single hundredth that we can find, and then we'll looking with 55 or 54 brake bias at the 100-meter board where we brake really hard, and I will show you what I mean by hard. Look at my face cam, and this is very hard. This is how it looked when I was sitting there. So yeah, with a lot of energy we are kicking into the brakes, and then we are hugging the inside corner with 3rd gear or 4th gear. If you take 4th gear, you can cut a lot here. Go into 3rd for the right-hander, then be careful on the exit. Don't use the exit curb, it will lose you some time, but you can touch it a little bit. Then 51 brake bias and 50 diff at the black board. You want to brake, or at the 50 board, very hard braking, but quick one. Get quickly off the brakes, otherwise you will lock up. Use the inside curb here, but always just place on these higher curbs your inside tire on it, but not over it, if you know what I mean, because otherwise you will Tony Hawk. Also in this corner you can gain a lot of time if you do this, but if you mess it up you will just go straight. And then you lift for the right-hander, and then you accelerate again. It's nearly all flat out, just a little lift, no braking needed in this section. End of sector 1. Now I will show you where to brake, because I went into hot lap mode already and accidentally forgot that I want to show you where to brake. So the braking point that we are looking for now in this difficult left-hander hairpin, we are looking for the blackboard and the 50-meter board. You can probably brake even a little bit later, but sometimes you overshoot it and then you will miss the apex. You take 4th gear, get close to the inside, but then accelerate early to carry as much momentum as possible and get close to the wall. 52 brake bias now for the next corner. After the 50 we try to straight line our car and then get close to the inside. Also use the curb here on the inside with the front left tire. And now it's again flat out throughout this whole section. We have the 2nd DRS zone off the lap before exiting sector 2. And now here 51 brake bias. Roughly at 30 meters we brake fairly hard, not fully 100% I think. And then we get off the brakes quickly and also back quickly onto the power. Very difficult to nail this without hooking over the car, over the curb. And this can make or break your lap, really. So be careful, be mindful of this spot. And yeah, now 55 brake bias and 55 differential. At 100-meter board we brake very hard and keeping the car straight for the braking. Now quickly off the brakes, hug the inside curb, accelerate quickly, and don't hit your right rear suspension into the wall like a fellow Dutchman did a few years ago. And this is the lap, so let's have a look how it looks actually in full speed. Alright, like I've already mentioned, please make sure you get a good run out of the final corner, and this is crucial to start your lap. Now we are heading into turn 1 for our hot lap. Again, looking for the 100 meter, we are using 54 brake bias. Now full braking down into 3rd gear and use the track on the exit, rotate the car on the throttle. Now changing the brake bias to 51, 50 diff, and slowing the car down into the apex, 5th gear, using full throttle here, everywhere, still full throttle, 6th gear, hugging over the inside curb, using the outside, lifting a little bit, back full throttle, and this is a very, very solid 1st sector. Now into 52 brake bias, braking hard again, but not too hard, trailing off the brakes, 4th gear, we could have been closer to the inside curb there, 52 brake bias now, again straight lining the car, down into 6th, 5th gear, rotate the car on the inside. We used a little bit too much of the inside, but we didn't make contact with the wall. Still pretty good through here. Now DRS, and I'm not sure if we change the brake bias to 51. Yes, we do. And now another just right at the 50 board, 6th gear, and that was pretty decent. staying tight, which is crucial to complete your lap, otherwise you're losing time. So stay as tight as possible until you need to nail the braking. 54 brake bias, 55 diff, hard braking. Now 4th gear, 3rd gear, we brake a little bit too late, and now this is what you need to do to complete a fast lap around the JEDDAH Corniche circuit. So for the setup, we used the time trial setup for the lap, but actually this is not a fast setup. The wings would be fast if you use something like this, 30, 20, or whatever you want to use here. Go for more stability or more rotation if you feel like you need it. Bigger gap means more rotation, smaller gap means less rotation. Then here on the differential, 55 on throttle, we change it throughout the lap. If you feel like you need more rotation when off the throttle, go for 50. If you feel like you're locking the rears a little bit too much, go to 52, especially for the race, because then you're locking up way less than before. Then right, left, left as the suspension geometry. For the suspension, we're using 30, 6, 13, 1, 35, 39, but you can also adjust it, because usually I prefer a stiffer front. Then you would need to lower the front ride height, but for this setup we can also keep it like that. With the front anti-roll, you can maybe also lower that to reduce the understeer, especially on high speed. Then again, the setup feels pretty decent, so you can definitely achieve good lap times with that. And you would also need to change the rear ride height if you change the rear suspension, of course. For the brakes, we are quickly switching over because I forgot to mention that, but the brake bias is very important here. You need to change it throughout the whole lap, because on this game the brake bias matters a lot. So between 50 and probably 56, depending on how loose your car is under braking. 57 maybe even for the race. You have to play around and also adjust the transmission on throttle and off throttle. And here for the tire pressures, I would go for minimum, because these tire pressures are bad, and 0.5 on the fronts or 0.3. That is definitely a good setup to go with. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, and also leave a comment if you found this video helpful. If you did, you know what to do. I will see you in the next one. Have a lovely day and enjoy the GP weekend. You're Marcel. Peace.